How's it going, guys? This is Clayster bringing you guys a YouTube video. Wow, a YouTube video. I know, it's crazy. I can't believe I'm making one. But starting today, I'm dedicating some time to YouTube every single day. Going to try and spend at least an hour a day working on YouTube videos, editing YouTube videos, making sure I get one uploaded for you guys each and every single day. I'm going to try really hard on this. I'm making an effort to do it. So I'm starting it off with this Season 3 recap video. A lot of people have been asking me for the Season 3 recap. I don't have the DC recap up because we played so poorly and I didn't really want to talk about it. But here it comes. We're going to go into the Season 3 recap. It was in Columbus. There was a pretty big prize pool, I think 80K or something like that. And our first round match was against Envyus. We played them on Detroit Hardpoint, and I remember them just clutching up at the end. I feel like we were in control of the game for the better part of the game, and they ended up clutching up at the end. I had a really poor performance in that game. I think I dropped below like 30 in that game, which is really, really bad for me. So we got we got beat by them by like 5 points at the very end of the Detroit Hardpoint, and then we went into the recovery search, which I think we slapped them around on. I think we 6-0'd them on that match actually, which is really cool for momentum because go down by 5 or losing by 5 points after you're ahead the whole game at Hardpoint, coming back to 6-0 the next map really makes a statement. Then we went into the Parliament uplink, and my memory's kind of hazy on this, but I remember some really clutch interceptions that we had, and basically just a lot of really good ball control that we had against them. On the compound hardpoint against them, we went down like 90-1, and that was everyone started cheering when we got our first point. And we actually turned it up on the second rotation. We held the third hill really, really well, and we ended up just having a lot of composure. And when we started getting chunks of time, and they were just getting slayed out over and over again. The kill feed being that way it was really, really awesome to see us go down by like 90 points, a hill and a half, a whole hill and a half, and we ended up bringing it back and beating them by like 40 points in the end, which is like so we overcame the 90-point deficit plus added an extra 40 on top. So that means we got like 140 points basically without them answering back much at all. We got 140 points and they answered. We got 222 by the time they got 185, or as the time they got 185. But the difference there was, pretty crazy. And so then we go on to the game 5, which was Riot Search and Destroy. And we played them on this map so many times that it honestly was just like easy peasy for us. We were reading them really well. We had a lot of really good play calls, a lot of good clutches that we had. I think there was a 1v1 and 1v2 that we won. And 6-4 compared to 5-5, it means all the difference. So we ended up beating Envyus 4-1 or 4-2, whatever it was right there. I moved on to Epsilon, and this is where things get kind of shaky for us. We played them on Solar Hardpoint, and we were ahead the whole game again, and then ended up losing it at the very end by like 5 points. And I believe we dropped double 40s on there. And we just had a Zuma and Attach went like 27 kills each. And when you have two players playing like that in a hardpoint, even if the other two players are going off, that means it's basically like 2v2 basically. And it just is really hard to win. And we made it close. It was like 5 points. But in the end, it proved to be too much. And then we went on the second map, which was Biosearch, and we had a game planned out for Parasite and on this map, and we ended up working really well for us, and we ended up taking a couple key offensive rounds that we schemed for, and I think that really helped us solidify the win. I think Naga only dropped a kill in that game, 2 out of 9 rounds, which is really big, keeping somebody that quiet. And then we went on to comeback uplink, which is really, really confusing for us. This is one of our better uplink games, and one of our better uplink matches, and so we ended up playing them and only scored 5 points in the whole game. And I was honestly getting shut down. I went like -8 or something like that. And there's Olive. Hey, Olive, say hi to the camera. But so we ended up, losing that game by about 2 dunks or something like that, and we're really kind of weirded out by it. And then we had Bio Hardpoint next, and Bio Hardpoint's probably our worst hardpoint, but we again had 2 really good performances from me and Attach at 40 kills each, and then Zuma and Enable both dropped 27 again. And like I said before, that kind of performance, you're not going to win hardpoints. You can make it close. We got it within 40 points, but I remember them having some huge plays in the Blue Hill and end up taking that entire game right there. And then we went to the last map, which was Detroit Search, and they just outclutched us. I think we had first blood in like 7 of the 9 rounds that we played. We ended up losing it 3-6, but we had first blood at like 7 of the 9 rounds. And when you have first blood that many rounds and you don't win the rounds, something's wrong. They were just out-clutching us. We were kind of on the edge, since we were an elimination map, and it just didn't work out well for us. And Epsilon ended up sending us to the losers bracket, which we ended up playing Denial first in the losers bracket. First map we played them on was Bio Hardpoint, and it was really, really close, but we ended up losing it by about 20 points. I remember it came down to like the last hill. Everyone had a pretty good performance. I remember Hoot going off in the Blue Hill getting a 3-piece. So it was just a couple plays they were making in that Hardpoint Bio that Denial was making that we weren't, and they ended up squeaking that one out by about 20 points. Then we went on to play them in Solar Hardpoint, and Solar Hardpoint's one of our best search maps, like by far. We're just really, really good and cohesive on that map, and we end up, putting them down 6-2, a fairly easy round or map for us, since that's one of our better search and destroys. And then we went into uplink, which was on comeback, and this is one of the craziest uplinks I've ever played. It went into overtime after I had a sick two-piece and interception. We ended up scoring. It was this crazy overtime stuff. There's so much going on, and we ended up getting the point at the very end. It was some really awesome plays by Zuma with the ball, really good plays by me intercepting the ball and making sure to get it out of our base. Unlike the Envy game at Gfinity where I just threw it straight to him, I actually threw it out of our base to Glass this time, got it out of the way, and got the two-piece. We ended up taking that map to go up 2-1. And the next map was Detroit Hardpoint, and we played really, really well on this map. I think Zuma and Enable both went off on this map, almost dropping 40 per. And when you beat them by 100 points, it makes a statement. When you're beating them by a hill and a half, that's like, hey guys, like we're here to play. You guys better step up, or you're going to be going home soon. And then, actually, I think that no. So that uplink I just talked about was actually Parliament uplink, was second map or third map to send them up 2-1. They won the Parliament uplink because I slammed off of the map into the water trying to shoot replays in the back. So it was overtime and replays was like pushing ball towards our side, and I was in hallway. I jumped out to shoot him, and the indicator flashed. He was in the top. I went up to shoot him, and then all of a sudden I see he's in the bottom right. The indicator like messed up. So I like push in down like on my down left on my stick to or down right on my stick to move my character down. I accidentally pushed it in. And I slammed into the water, and they ended up winning that Parliament in overtime. And Replays actually had a really sick interception to even put it into overtime. Really sick interception on Parliament, that third map, to send it to overtime. They ended up winning that in overtime to go up 2-1. And then we went to the Detroit Hardpoint, which I just spoke about. And, we were in control just that entire time. And then we went on to Recovery, Search, and Destroy, which we ended up winning that 6-3. And we had a really weird sniper battle going on, and we were winning it most of the time. And I think that was the key to that matchup on Recovery Search, was winning the sniper battle against them. I had a couple nice picks and first bloods and stuff like that really helped solidify our team. I didn't have too many kills, but I know Enable and Zuma were doing really good work in their face. And then the last map was Comeback Uplink, which is the one I just talked about, where we had that really sick interception, the really sick two-piece thrown off the map, and a really sick overtime that we ended up beating them in. So we ended up winning 4-2 against against Denial right there on the first match in the losers. And then we moved on to play Elevate. So this was another really, really tough match that we were going to have to play. We had never played Elevate on lane before, so we were ready to go versus these guys. We started off on Retreat Hardpoint, where I went off. I think I ended up with 40 kills in that game. We ended up winning by about 40, 50 points, and they looked kind of scared. Their shots were looking kind of shaky. I think one of them went like negative. Like TJ was top of the leaderboards, but he was like -6 or something like that. And then we went into a really, really intense Skyrise Search and Destroy. And they did a play on me first round when I was on defense where they rushed my top windows. And we had a couple really nice rounds where I was getting some really good picks on them. They really couldn't compete with my snipe at any point in the game. And then the very last round I was on defense, I saw them pushing B, and I knew that they were going to try and jump my top windows. I actually quickscoped TJ out of the window, ended up winning that round in round 11, 6-5, which is a huge map, huge map. It really, really mattered. That map mattered a lot for us. Even as kind of like a practice game going into the Epsilon and then therefore the Optic games later. Playing Skyrise so many times actually helped us a ton on land, helped us get some of our strategies down. Then we went to Biolab Uplink, which we kind of gave away. We should have won that map, I feel like. We were playing it really well. They were slaying us and flanking us a lot, but that's expected on Biolab, and we honestly should have won, I feel like. We had a couple misplays and a dunk that we should have had that we gave up to them, so that's like a 3-point differential, and we only ended up losing by 1. So I knew that, it was, even though it was a close game, it's our worst uplink. I felt like we could still pull it through, and we went on to the next map, which is Detroit Hardpoint, and it was really close. It was really, really close, a really intense game. We all had, mediocre performances. I think I went like +11, but it was like 36 and 25 or something like that. And we played them on Detroit, and it was really intense and a really close game, but we out-rotated them to the last hill, and then we ended up holding a lot of time on that last hill, broke them at the end, and it ended up winning us that game. And then we went to Solar Search and Destroy, which again went to another round 11. And I think this was the map that Enable only had a couple kills on. Me and Zuma both dropped like 10 kills, 12 kills, something like that each, and Attach and Enable only added up to like 7 or 8 kills, something like that. And it honestly was just like, we made a couple of really dumb plays that we really shouldn't have, and we died a couple times when we really shouldn't have. Like, there was a round, like, I had, like, the very last round, I had a two-piece lined up, and I mantled up, and it was just a lot of stuff going wrong in that game. We ended up losing around 11, 6-5. And then we went into the last map, which was Detroit Uplink, and I beast moded on this map. I think I went like 35 and 20 or something like that. We ended up winning by 3, but we honestly just had a really, like, Dylan got away with the ball at one point, and I don't even know how he got away with it and scored a dunk. Like, they let up some points that they really shouldn't have, even though like we didn't all have the best game. Like my teammates didn't really have good games. I think they all went negative except for me, but we ended up winning because we took advantage of the opportunities that we had and ended up winning it by 3. So then we go on to the losers finals, which we have to play Epsilon. Now this is where things get crazy. I'm gonna take a little sippy of water. So this is where things get crazy. Played Epsilon first map. It's Solar Hardpoint yet again. We end up beating them on this map. Or no, we got beat on this map. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we went down 0-3. We ended up getting beat on this map pretty badly by like 40 points or something like that. We end up getting beat on this map. And then we end up going to play Skyrise again, which we should have won this match too. We should have won this match like 100%. Should have won this match like hands down. I feel like we should have. I had ended up like 10 kills, and there was like this round where like Naga was weak, and then I quickscope him and hit marker him, and then he somehow eats more bullets and kills me, and like it was a 2v1. And there was a couple other rounds on this map where I really feel like we should have won, but we ended up not winning it, which is really unfortunate. I think we had somebody on our team not perform poorly again. There's Tiffany in the background. Give a little wave, Tiffany. And so then we moved on to game 3, down 0-2 to Epsilon after them knocking us in the losers, getting kind of scary. And they end up winning Detroit Link by a dunk at the very end because we didn't wrap back, and it was just a stupid play. We had an opportunity to get a dunk after that, and we just made stupid plays. We weren't being assertive enough, and we weren't being, we weren't playing with enough intensity and like enough urgency is the word I'm looking for. Then we're like, all right, we're down, 3-0. Like, all right, it's elimination map. We got to win now. So then we put them on drift, and we're down like 60 points. And I don't know what happened. Zuma, Enable, and Attach just started going beast mode. I started getting them spawns and letting them just go at it. We end up coming back from about 60 points down on the map to take our first map against Epsilon. So we're like, all right, let's keep this going. Let's keep this going. Biolab search. Well, we're like, all right, we just played them on this map and beat them on it, but now we can't use that strat that we schemed them for because they know we're going to use that strat because we used it against them. So we had to do all new strats and just make stuff up on the fly. Went down 5-2, and it's like, all right, this is all she wrote. That's how we lost to ISO at DC. We lost at Biolab Search last map. In my head, I'm kind of thinking, damn, like this really sucks that it's this search map. But we're at this point. We lost 3 maps already. Like it's our fault. Then we end up like getting around. I'm like, all right. Then we get another round where they like stupidly rush us on our offense, and I was like, I got 2-piece outskirts, and I kill Haggy with a pistol trying to challenge me for some reason. And then I was like, all right, another round. Then we took another round. It's like, all right, it's 5-5. All right. And then we got the first 2 bloods, and I was like, let's go, baby. Like they rushed Bio, and Dylan, like Zuma died, and then Dylan traded a 2-piece on it. I almost died. It was a crazy game. We ended up winning 6-5, and after that, the fire was lit. Like after we won that, came back from down from 5-2. Excuse me. That's when stuff got lit. Like it was literally, we went to Parliament Uplink next and just like put them down on it. Like they didn't really have any control of the map. I think we all dropped around 30 kills. We held most of the control, won by about 5. Then we played Riot Search and Destroy for last map for the whole thing. And Riot Search is one of our better search maps. Up there with Solar and stuff like that. And we just honestly game planned them. Like we knew how Naga plays on this map. We knew how Remy played on the map. And we honestly just game planned them every round. They had a bunch of plants, and we had a couple like, I think we defused them like half the time they planted it. So like when you're planting the bomb and it's not winning you rounds, and there's no point in planting the bomb. So we ended up taking that 6-3 after a couple nice clutches by everyone, and it was honestly just like after coming back down from 3-0, it was an amazing feeling. We all knew we were going to win the tournament at that point. We all knew after being at 5-2 on our worst map, 60 points in the drift, and end up winning all through all those and winning that game. We were so confident going up against OG that when we played them on the first game in the grand finals where we had to win 2 best-of-7s, it was compound hardpoint, and we just slaughtered them. Like I think we only won by like 60 points, but if you actually look at the gameplay and like what happened, like we slaughtered them. Like I think they were all negative. Like we were killing the heck out of them. It was really bad. Then we went on a Riot Search, which, like I said, is one of our better search. This was actually the worst performance I had all weekend. I dropped 2 kills. I went 2-6, I think, but we won 6-2. So it literally like when you have Zuma had like 11 and Abel had 8 or something like that. They were doing everything they needed to be doing. We ended up winning that map 2-0 up. And then we go to Parliament Uplink. And Parliament's like, not our best uplink, but not our worst. And I, again, have another poor performance. I think I went like -7 or something like that. And they won by about 6 points, about 3 dunks, which is a considerable amount, considering it's Parliament where, ones are the key. So it's 2-1 now, and then we played them on Solar Hardpoint, and I think this game right here was the series changing game. Whoever won this Solar Hardpoint, I felt was going to win the entire tournament. And I didn't know it at the time, but looking back and telling you how it felt and stuff like that, winning that Solar Hardpoint by 1 point after Zuma jumped over everyone after stunning them and getting the contest, and we ended up winning by 1 point in that game. That was so momentum changing and game changing. Like that put them down so much because they had such a nice comeback and such a nice hold. Formal ends up team killing Krim at the end, which cost them the 1 second contest they had to tie. It was absolutely insane, absolutely crazy. And we won that map. We're so hyped going into recovery search. And like I said, we just had a really good snipe game. We schemed this map versus Optic. We had a specific set of strats that we were going to use on this map versus Optic. And even though Enable only dropped 2 kills, I think Karma did as well. And the rest of us three on our team all had above 10, I'm pretty sure. And ended up winning the first series 4-1 right there on recovery search, 6-4. We had like a couple really nice clutch rounds that really could have went either way, but we got timing on our side, or we played it a bit better. There was that round, me and Attach were in a 2v4, and we ended up clutching the 2v4. And if you take away that 2v4, it's 5-5 going round 11, and that round 11 hasn't ever been played because we've only played 10 rounds and won 6-4. But if they win that round, where like Scumpy and Attach and someone else are fighting back B, and I came flying off and two-piece them with my last bullet. Like, if they win that round, it's 5-5 round 11, and then it could very well go to a game 7 because now we're at least going to a game 6, And so that winning those rounds and winning by that 1 point and stuff like that, it all ends up adding up. All the little tiny things that happen in each game end up adding up to a series win and a tournament win. So we end up winning that first best of 7. This is getting pretty long, guys, so I'll go ahead and fly through this for you guys. First map, Biolab Hardpoint, and we came so close to beating them on our worst hardpoint. Like, so absurdly close, I don't think you guys realize. I dropped 40 on that map with a subby, and, like, I was just going off that whole game making plays, and we ended up losing by, like, 4 or 5 points because we couldn't break at the end. Zuma's getting kills at the end, and we just couldn't break it, and it was so frustrating. But went down 0-1, and we're like, all right, we went down 0-1. Like, that's the name of the game. That's the way it happens. Played Detroit Hardpoint next, and then this game was even crazier. Like, we went down in this game, and like it was like neck for neck, neck for neck. They went up 5-4, and then we took the next 2 rounds, and that's so game changing to go up 2-0 or to be tied 1-1 in a series, and especially like the elimination series. Like, this is the last series, excuse me, of the tournament. Regardless, we ended up winning that 6-5. Zuma had a monster game, a couple really nice clutches as well, and then we went into comeback uplink. And comeback uplink is one of our better uplinks. Like I said, I was a little confused as to how we lost it before. And in all honesty, it was just one of those things where I think Krim went -20 or something like that, and Karma went like -11. And when you have people doing that bad, there's no way you're going to win. I think we beat him by like 5 points or something like that. Really just like didn't give him a chance. And then the next map was Drift Hardpoint, which Drift is one of the maps that we've gotten a lot better at. And I believe we had like 3 people 1 kill away from 40 at the end of it. We ended up winning by like 80 points on that map. And Drift, when you're playing the map the way we do, it's really important for your subs to be doing well. Especially, like, I did well and so did Enable. But, like, to have the other two doing well when we're giving them spawns, that means they're breaking the hill and getting the kills in the hill. That's, like, the most important thing about it. So we're up 3-1 now after we win that Drift Hardpoint. And we're all looking at each other and we're like, what's the map? They say Skyrise. And we all just, like, start cheesing and start laughing because we know that, like, Optic hates that map. We know that Optic was complaining about Skyrise, that they really don't have any strats for it. They don't know the things that we know on that map because we played it so much. We practiced it a bunch. And me and Zuma basically just took control of the game. We got first blood like every single round, I'm pretty sure. We're doing some crazy jump snipes. You all saw the one I hit on Karma dolphin diving across the window purely on accident. A lot of nice quick scopes that we had on a really like nice we won a bunch of offensive rounds. And after we won the first like 2 or 3 offensive rounds, we're up like 4-0. I just started laughing in the booth. I knew we had won it because winning offense on that map is like near impossible if the defense plays right. And especially with the way AW is, like in MW2 you could win offense and defense on that map if you played it right. But in this game you can rarely win offense, and after we won like 3 of them, and we were up like 4-0, 5-0, I knew the game was over, and I knew it was just, there wasn't even a chance that we had a losing this, and ended up pulling it out, winning the 2 best of 7s off the back of a comeback versus Epsilon, down 3-0, down 5-2, down 6 point in the hard point. One of the craziest tournaments I've ever had the pleasure of winning and playing with my teammates. It shows a lot of resilience about our team, especially coming off of DC. We had a lot of stuff to prove, a lot of people to prove wrong, a lot of people to prove right. Had a lot of people to show, who we are, and we plan on finishing this year out strong. So I hope you guys enjoyed the season 3 recap video. There was just a ton of content in this, and I apologize for waiting so long to get this uploaded. Like I said, I'm going to be dedicating some time to YouTube every single day now, so make sure you check out my YouTube for more videos in the upcoming days. Much love, everyone. Peace out.